Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you may be in the world, we want to welcome you to the Let's Talk Fabulous with Tamara. And today's guest panel of experts are people that have worked very closely with me in our cause, our community, as servant leaders, as the volunteer hearts that they are. Also, they have their own businesses, they have their own things going on, and they know what it's like to prepare for a new year. So without further ado, let's meet our panel. I'm so excited about today's subject. I'll tell you, I get excited this time of year all the time. Well, first of all, I'm a big kid, so the holidays. That's needless to say. It's just like hand in glove. However, with that said, we have been within our community for the last few years. We've been concentrating on this time of year to go into the next one and be completely fabulous with our intentions, our vision, and some would call goals. We stay away from that New Year's resolution thing because we all know how many days that stays around. However, with that said, we have come across with this group of people, we have come across some real successes. And people have wondered, how have we done that? Well, we're coming out to the public side to share a little of that today. And I want to welcome those that are coming and joining us. Helene Wilson, always great to see you, my dear. And Caroline Brown, may I just say, she's wearing many hats today. She is not only our production coordinator who got us all ready for the show, she is also senior ambassador of our cause and the Buddies. You'll find out more about that. And she's also one of our guest experts. So thank you for all you do. We have Patty Mays. Oh, love you, love you, love you. And, I love it when Helene starts to say hello to everyone because, it really sets the tone of welcoming, and we want everybody to feel very welcomed. Dorothy, so happy you're here with us today. Absolutely. So let's get to it. I am going to go around the horn and I'm going to give you each just a moment to introduce yourselves. Where are you? And that's about all I'm going to let, because I don't want to give too much away quite yet because I have some fun stuff to share. So, Caroline, why don't you tell us where you are, who you are, and yes, I already gave your titles away, but maybe just a little bit, just ever so little bit about how excited you are about today's show.
So I am in snowy Canada today, and I am the senior ambassador of Chemo Buddies, and I'm also an author now for a couple of books that I have done. And I am a co-author in a book that's coming out in January.
Loving Southern California. Oh, that could not have been better timing, Patty. You must have known she was about to talk about the snow. But I will say, everybody knows me, knows that I love the cold. I love the snow. So, I moved from Southern California. I'm okay with, I'm missing people, but, I'm okay with the weather. So thank you, Caroline. Kim, let's go to you.
Well, so I'm Kim O'Neill. I live in Southern California. Hello to everyone. And I was just telling Carol, yes, I enjoy Southern California, but we do not get the same extent to what they experience up in the north. So I just, anyone with snow or like beautiful colors of trees right now, I think it's gorgeous. I'm an authentic confidence coach, and I love to do custom meditations with my clients. And I'm excited about today's conversation. So I'll leave it there for now.
Awesome. We have our fifth panelist with us because I'm including myself in today's discussion. However, I'm going to Barbara next. Barbara Beckley.
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, thank you for having me on your wonderful show with these wonderful queens. My name is Barbara J. Beckley. I am a purpose, visionary, and social media strategist. And also, anytime I volunteer for Chemo Buddy, because I said I'm a Chemo Buddy for life. So I'm there until I'm done with life. And I am in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which I wish I was in Southern California because I'm not particularly liking snow. We had 3 inches and I was like, please go away quickly. because that's starting the track of it's going to be more.
It's so funny. It's so funny, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in the intention piece of today's discussion. And it's sometimes we kind of think about, okay, yeah, I'm here, but then it would be nice to be there. That's what's great about the internet. Right now, we're all over. And Erin, you are with us from where?
I am from Utah. I'm in central Utah now, currently and always, usually. And it is cold. And so I can see where California would sound really nice about now.
And thank you for being here. Now, what are we here for? I am going to kind of give you guys a little overview about this and close your eyes if anybody is sensitive to a lot of lights coming at you. I want to make that little, but this is fun. So let's kind of dive into this topic. All right, so let's do this. I am going to let people know right now, any of our buddies, anybody that's been around us for any period of time, know that we will be sharing some very small video clips from our community. However, nothing with any of the promised protection that we have always given, because we're very, very, very security conscious about anything that is said or who says it in our community that might be community members, because that is what we promise. That is what we deliver. However, what we've been doing in the last few years in this community has been pretty amazing. And a lot of it around this time of the year does touch on this topic. So I am going to start here with actually sharing something that was from a blast from the past, and then we're going to get on to it.
Yeah. And it's so true, because we truly, we also attract the things that we put out there. And so it's just proof to me that by me really focusing on all of these amazing things and what I want and the people I wanting to surround me, those are the people that are now in my circle. What do you want, and where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? We have different parts of our life that, we want to be very specific. Like, what kind of relationships do you want to have in 2020? What kind of, like, financially, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be, like, as far as in your community? How do you want to interact with the people around you? What kind of environment do you want to have? What kind of things do you want to bring in? I mean, we want to be very specifically health-wise. What do you see happening with your health? And this is probably going to be a huge, huge thing, because it doesn't, just because we imagine it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right here the next day. It's going to still be a journey. Those are just where I would like to start. Basically, like, let's think about all of those different quadrants in our life and what is it that we want.
All right, so with that start, we have been doing a lot in regards to vision since even before we had the chat. And we helped some of our buddies to actually achieve their visions so that when they then went on with their wings, they were at peace, because they were able to take care of some of the things that they felt they hadn't yet in this earthly journey. And we're all going into a new year. And what I would like to do is start with you, Erin, because you have taught me, truthfully, so much. And when you talk about the quadrants, we'll go a little bit deeper into that here soon. However, you've taught so much and have helped lead this subject in what we call chat in our community for years. And how did you get started in all of this?
How did I get started? Well, I think someone kind of
tricked me into just kidding. No. How did I get started in the whole vision of things, or basically in
Yeah, right. Well, more in the vision, because you have a lot of
Right.
knowledge when it comes to this that you've brought in, and it has helped quite a few people.
I think that in the beginning, it was in my own life, it was a matter of being able to envision or believe that things were possible, and that even the impossible was possible, as I watched miracles unfold and my own situation and what I didn't even think was possible at one point literally unfold before me. I think that's really where it began. And I just was fascinated with, how does this happen? Because sometimes there's just not any, you can't get the why behind or how. It's really just like, this is what I want, and I want it, and I just know this is what I want. It's that knowing and following my heart. And so in return, it's been something that I've also been able to help teach people, because that's something I've experienced myself.
Excellent. Kim, I'm going to go to you next, and I'm going to go here. Thank you, and I'm going to go here because and share a clip real quickly, and then go deeper into it.
Rise and shine. Every day is a new day, creating 2020 vision. And here we are all about being deliberate in setting your intention, setting your focus on what is it that you want to experience for the second half of 2020, creating your desired vision. So
you did. I didn't go into the boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, that's what we sang in that one.
I almost did, but I thought, okay, I'll save everybody. However, you did a whole program, and I am going to get deeper into this, why I'm starting right now here in 2020. And guys, you can get it here soon. But you started a whole program that went over many weeks of real intense work to dive deep into vision and everything, because 2020 gave us a bit of a snag, if you will, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a part of that was a special series I did on the Every Day is a New Day show, Rise and Shine 2020 Vision, which one of the big reasons why I did that was really to tap people into their own power, their ability to create change. We can see a ton of crap on the outside of our lives and go, "Ooh, I don't like that." And what can we do about it? We can always do something about it. And it always starts with us and our own life. And so that's what that was about, is looking at, what is your vision? Looking at the value of your emotions, the role that plays in it. We also talked about taking action, and then, mindset, of course, huge piece about it. So we looked at all those elements. They all come together to help create that thing that we desire in life. And I loved what Erin said in her clip. I don't remember exactly what she said, but it kind of brought me to this point I want to make about, it's not about forcing anything. It's not about saying, "Oh, I'm going to create change, so I'm going to force this to happen." There's subtle nuances to it, and yet it can be really, really simple and fun. And so I love that you're doing this show today to talk about that.
Thank you. In fact, okay, that leads me into another clip that I was actually going to, Caroline and Barbara, I'm going to you in a minute. However, I'm going to share another clip because you just set it up perfectly and I have to do it. Here you go.
Hello, everyone. Tamara Hunter here. And we are continuing Vision 2021. That's okay. Poof, it's magic. Understanding also the area. So I may rework some of this now that we've got this, and I'm going to say it, and so that we've got the record of it too. We did this last year too. We really spent time, and look what happened. So much of so many people that did do this in our exercise, one or many things ended up coming, true.
Well, and I think a lot of the time too is it's our intention we put forward, and the reason that we understand that it came true is because we have record of it. We wrote it down, or whatever that looks like, because it's really good to set the intention. What is it that you want? And then keep that
for me, I loved, like I said, play was last year, and I'm really pulling that this year because when it makes it so fun and easy and things just happen so much more ease, like that flow. And even though it's not easy, it doesn't mean it's easy. It's just that I choose to let it be easy.
You see why I had to go there after you said that, Kim, because
Yep.
you know, it really, and we witnessed this, and we're going to go deeper into this here soon. However, this piggybacks right into Barbara. Barbara, and just anybody that's not aware of who we are and what we do in the community, I kind of set it up. However, we had in our chat, in our community, there was a while that we had every single night different hosts that did different subject matter. And we had, and the reason poof was because Magic Mondays were Magic Monday. And then we turned it into Monday Vision, or Vision Monday. And so it was like, okay, we still have to do ode to the magic, right? Well, Barbara, for the longest time, was helping us with Success Saturday. And she always had her ear to the ground, her, thumb on the pulse of the community, and always came in with something that was very, like, spot on, really what was needed at that very moment. And here is a clip that I captured from one of her Success Saturdays that piggybacks right off of the last clip.
I want us to keep alive what you believe in. I'm going to go, like I said, a few quotes just to give you that information, that it's very important to write down the vision. And then, like I said a few weeks ago, is taking those steps, taking the action to it. So it works together. But you have to have that vision. You have to have it written down. A lot of people it's there. But when you start writing something about when you write something down, it really just resonates more. It really does.
So you said it so well right there, and that's writing it down. And all of you guys, when you bring in people that understand what it is to have something successful, work towards something, and understand also that success is relative. We have those baby step moments, and success sometimes has to be worked on moment after moment after moment. It's not like, okay, I'm going to be successful and poof, magic. Sometimes it happens. However, you have to work towards it. And our words are very important. And I know that Erin would be saying, okay, don't say that, Tamara. You're already successful. Yes, we are already successful. And I'm going to come to you next, Caroline, because you are all over in our community, and you take care of so many, and you have been always there for all of these different chats, all of the different subject matters. You've led a number of them. And through it, one thing I did see when I was going through a lot of the film was that over a few years, after a couple of years, you were sharing, okay, I got this far. And then you were sharing some of the things that you were doing. And then, okay, now I've gotten this far. And you constantly up on your goals, up on your vision board that you put in a strategic place, and you would always share that you always had something very constant that you were working towards. And that has taken place, hasn't it?
Thank you.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, on the so on my vision board for the intention 2021, I've been working since 2020, but because of COVID and all everything that was going on, things were shut down. So I still kept my dream alive, and I created my poem book, and it was completed in 2021. Moving to January of 22, And that was to, follow my path of what I wanted to do. And that's on my vision board again, is follow my path and where it takes my heart. And what it took my heart, yes, it's the poem book.
Mm-hmm.
And where it took my heart for this 22 was to create a children's book. And I have been working on that since 2020 with doing all the paintings that are behind me. And now I can say I have published my first children's book. And I now kept my vision board because it keeps me consistent with what I need to do and what I need to focus on. And that's what I want to let people know, is that if it's in front of you, you can focus on it and you can see and remind yourself every single day why you have that vision board there. Create the things that you write on your board. And that's what I have done. And I've actually created my new vision board for 2023. So it's got some things on there, and that will go in front of me again on the wall to continue creating. And my new project that's on here that I'm not going to get into right now.
That is so exciting. And this is evidence right here that when you actually work towards something and you have the vision for it, it can come to pass. We have had that happen quite a few times, and it was interesting in going back over the years to look at different film that we then were able to share, okay, like 1 year after another, after yet another, okay, yeah, it worked, this happened, and some of it was our personal things that we can talk about. And then it got more people excited to do it. And so then we got more of the buddies and more of the leadership and more of the volunteers to get involved. And then it kept building upon that. The next year, we had that many more that were like, oh, yes, I did it. And we had the film that, okay, yeah, because for those that would share, we had the film. And we were able to say, okay, yeah, look, it works. This happened now, and year after year. So now with this show going out on the public side, we're able to now bring more people into the fact that this truly works. Erin, one of the things that we talked about in those years was that you did the whole thing on playful, but then it was also, you really wanted to go in the ocean, and you talked about that. And you're in a landlocked area, right?
I am.
And I remember like, okay, this is great. And I'm thinking, and I think I even said it on one of them. Well, because at the time I was living in Southern California, maybe she'll come down and visit with me. Within only a few months, without knowing that this was going to happen, when you put that on the vision board, why don't you share what happened?
I not only was in the ocean, but it was on the other side of the continent over in Florida. And not only was I there at the ocean, but I had a picture of a boat that I also had envisioned being able to go on. And that's what we did. We went on a day trip. I mean, like I said, it wasn't very specific, but I mean, it happened, and it was really amazing.
Exactly. So what we have done right now in this very first part of the show is made the case that when you come up with the vision and you really drill it down, because what you taught us, and that was one of the things that I thought, okay, I didn't want to go too deep into it because we really didn't have the time, because we would go over weeks, that we would drill down on how to do this in such a way that there's different quadrants, and to have success in an actual vision board. And you would teach that, and then I would rework mine. It's like, okay, and the next week it'd be, okay, here it is, and it's like, okay, here we go, we're going forward. The thing that I always remember, and I think about it often, is that the center, the heart of the matter is truly the heart. It's the heart of the matter. And so as we're doing the vision board, and many people are talking about this. I was just on something with Carlotta Taylor and her Queen's Toast. And we went into the fact that there's and this is a printed out version of Canva. For anybody that doesn't know, Canva has a free app that you can go in, and they have vision boards in there. You can just like drop, click and drop. And if nothing else, it's a great place to start. This is not mine reworked. This was just one of theirs because I was using it in my talk yesterday as a visual effect. And that is that you can create your vision. One of the things about placement, if nothing else, where we can start today is in the heart. Why is the center of the vision board so important, Erin?
Because it's the heart of the matter. Very literally, you just said it. And when we come from our heart space, it's a pure intention, and it literally helps us connect with everything around us.
Excellent. Thank you. I have one other that I'm going to share right now. Let's see here, a clip that we have had a lot of different people with a lot of specific backgrounds that have volunteered with our organization in our chat, our community, for years. This is one of the favorites. There's many. And she came in about this subject. Truthfully, everybody's like, okay, why is she talking about that? Because vision goes across all areas. And that's one of the reasons for our buddies, I want to bring her up, and for everybody that's watching to understand if this hits everyone out there.
Tamara Hunter and Cheryl Meyer here on a Monday Vision Night. And so I have my homework. I'm having so much fun with this, Cheryl.
It's a great thing to do, and it works.
I had to throw that in because for anybody that knows Cheryl Meyer knows that her life before becoming an author about how to get rid of toxins and everything in your system and in your life, in all areas, she was a very successful global, professional woman with a huge business that she created herself. And she knows how to make something work. And her total enthusiasm there, because it works. I just had to throw that in because it does. I want to now talk about, and Dorothy, love the talk on vision boards. Well, great. It's so important to, and, thank you for sharing that, that you're going to be doing this because it's like frequency, right? We all will be attracted to different frequencies. And yet there's the science that there's certain frequencies that do heal. There's certain things that do go across the board. And vision, in my mind, goes along with in our world, we think about the frequency of love, humor, hope, heart hugs, and a whole lot of love. That's the vision within our organization. And we know there's science behind it. It works. So how do you go about it, though? And this is where I want to go because I put it out there. There's some people that are like, yeah, that's great. But you guys are talking above me right now. I've never done it before. I don't even understand the idea of intention and vision. Isn't that something I look with these two peepers and I see outside, and maybe I may need corrective lenses, but that's about as much as I know about vision, right? So I'm going to open this up right now, and I want to cover this over the next few moments to help someone that has no clue of where to start. Who wants to go? I'm going to call on someone.
Go ahead, Barbara.
I'll make it kind of quick. So I would say this because I wasn't just a few years ago. I just kind of got into the whole vision board thing because I had to work on me. And what I mean by that is I had to believe that I can imagine me having certain things that I really wanted. So I had to start in my mind and say, well, they went to France. I don't know if I can get there. I don't know if I'll be able to get there. They over there in Mexico having a vacation. I don't know if I can do that. I'm still dealing with stuff over here. And see, I had to get my mind set. And I know a lot of people talk about the mindset, but I add mindset to mind flow too, because it's when you put a mindset, that's where you stay. Sometimes you stay in that zone where I was at. But I had to release and say to myself, why can't you go to Mexico, Barbara? Why can't you vacation over there in Cancun or whatever? So I started saying to myself, you know what? To make this easy, I'm going to start looking at pictures. I'm going to start looking at people, not so much of they're there and I'm here, but I want to be there. I see something here. So I had to really dig deep in myself and say, you can do this. You just have to just in your mind and your heart to feel that way. And then I think that starts that progress going.
And Kim, do you want to piggyback off of that?
There's like so much I could say. So I think what you were trying to get at, Tamara, is about trying to make this sound a little simpler to digest. Is that right? So, and I don't know that I can do that because I have so much I can say. I think the two things come to mind is that people tend to be attracted to happy people, right? And so what I'm getting at here is the emotion and the energy and the vibration aspect of it. Just like we tend to be attracted to, oh, there's fun going on over there. Oh, there's happy people. It's all about energy goes where energy goes where focus flows, where there's already a bunch of energy going on. Happiness, joy, excitement, love, those are energies those are emotions with a lot of vibration, more momentum going on. And so when we can tap into what Erin was saying about the matter of the heart, what is it that really brings you alive? What you really feel drawn towards? Start there, because that's where there's already energy flowing. And if you feel that, that's real. That's something tangible. Because just like Barbara was saying, you have to believe in it. If you can believe that you feel that, then there's something more that can meet that. I know this probably sounds kind of vague and abstract, but that's what comes to mind as you're trying to, as you were mentioning, trying to make it more digestible to someone who might be like, what? This sounds great, but I don't get it. How does it work? I totally get that. And it's as simple as tuning into what do you really desire, believe in that, and then take some steps towards that, because the universe will meet you and help you create more.
And I'm going to now go to Caroline, because Caroline, you are a great example because you were so transparent in our community in regards to getting these two books, up and going. And it isn't always necessarily the easiest thing when you have this vision, right? There other things can show up, and yet you kept at it. And I love the fact that you shared, in this year it was this, in this year it was that, because it was a constant. Would you say that the constant was always a bed of roses, or did sometimes you have a few rocks in the road?
No, I had to learn to find confidence within myself. I had to find courage. The road wasn't always paved straight or paved smoothly. It wasn't up and down for me. And for a lot of people, if you stay in that comfort zone, you can't find that joy within yourself, and you can't move forward into what you want to create. So that's why on my old vision board was I had to show up joyfully. I had to find that courage within myself and that confidence within myself in order to get through this path. And that's why there's a path on my vision board. It's done out of blocks because it's nice, smooth and straight, and that's where it was for me. I mean, that vision board that I didn't get done, and again, that'll be moved on to the new one, and you never know anymore.
Thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to go to Erin next because Erin, anybody that doesn't know, Erin has worked very closely with me as many different titles over the years in a volunteer way that, she's been everything from, me, Tamara Hunter in chair, to, my assistant, to the go-to person, to, my backup person, to it all. And I always hear her in my head because she'll say, okay, re-say that, or you already know, or, it's like all of these things because the language is as important in the vision and putting it on the board, right? And that is the whole part of also the intention of it all. I'd love for you to discuss that a little bit because you correct me a lot. And I have noticed over this period of time that I'm getting better. Yeah, thank you. And it's a journey. It is a journey, everyone. So why don't you talk to everybody about that? Because we can beat ourselves up all day long. However, it's when we give ourselves grace that we really can start to see the movement going forward, right?
Oh, of course, grace, especially giving ourselves grace. But our language, so much of our language is conditioned by our environments, by, just everything, from the TV to just social media, all of these things in this language coming at us all the time. And people don't realize how important words are and how words do become things. And so if we are stating certain things that we're not even consciously aware that we're doing, we just do it out of habit, like, oh, no way, I can't. Like, I can't, that word in alone, I'm just like, that is probably one of the worst words you say in my house. Is that alone, because I believe that we can do anything that we really set our heart and our mind to. And language, I have this, I've been following mastery systems for many years now, and they have recently in the last couple of years came out with what's called the word made flesh, and it helps me to actually even help my own language in getting to that pure speech and being able to speak really what I am desiring, what my heart desires. And it's so interesting how it's like instant, like things shift, like just right on. And I'm like, is this even possible? Of course it's possible, kind of thing. And language is so important. And so to be aware of what we are saying is also, I think, really the key.
Thank you. So now we're going to transition into the next piece, which we kind of did the overview. Anybody that, has been through Speech 101, that you kind of like, what are you going to talk about? And then you talk about it. And then what did you talk about? Okay, we kind of covered what we're going to be talking about next already. We're diving just a little deeper. And that is from the speak of our mouth, from our speech, it is the writing and the recording and the filming, and it is putting it into some type of, if you will, some people would say legacy, so that you can then have it there for you. We covered a little bit of it with, yay, I have something from Angel Marie. In fact, she's going to help us in this segment. This is upside down. And that, you can even start with something as simple as going to a free app like Canva. You can do something, and I shared this yesterday in the a meeting that I was in, and I don't have them right here, but I'll show you guys here. At least this was 1 year, and I have one other over there. Is that 1 year I did all pink. I have another one. There's 3 of them, and for the longest time I would go in and I would do different areas that I wanted to work on. And then I would go in and I would create, I have magazines, and I have all these, paper and pens and pencils and, all the different things to be able to cut and paste into your own books in the different areas of specialty. And so that you can work on your business, you can work on your personal, you can work on, whatever areas that you want, you can focus in on them. And what I actually did when I was, and we're going to go into how this or anything like it can be helpful. And when I was gone for a little period of time, I came back with something fun. And Angel Marie helped me to introduce these on her show.
I'm Angel Marie Monticelli, and I'm a certified spiritual counselor and Reiki master for over 20 years. And I teach a morning routine and an evening routine. And when Tamara Hunter, one of my besties, and I love what she's doing with so many things to help and serve others. Thank you, Tamara, is when you told me about these, I had to get it. I absolutely had to get these. And when I started doing these and continue to do these, what happens is it changes my life. Why? It helps me to be honed in the morning and the evening to put down my thoughts on how to visualize, how to manifest. I teach manifesting classes. And this is right on because it helps with a framework. And yeah, I got all of them. Why did I get all of them? Because I so love all of these that what I do is I help and tell and teach my counseling students, you need these. And why? Because they help you step by step. Okay, get a journal you can write yourself. That's fine. But getting these, and you don't need all of them at first, but get at least one, start it, and you will see your whole life change because it will help boost your confidence. It will help boost your productivity, your clarity, your focus. But the biggest thing is it helps me to visualize the joy that's coming in and feel it and feel it. So thank you, Tamara Hunter. Thank you, Team Tamara, for all that you do to serve. It's just beautiful how you serve others. And thank you so much again, because I appreciate it. And so does my clients. They're doing it, and it is getting results like major.
And she's somewhere right now where she didn't know she was going to have internet connection. And I didn't ask her to do a commercial, but hey, thank you, Angel Marie, because it was just, I knew that she was one of the very first ones to start to implement what this program is. And the only reason that I even put these together in the very beginning was because this is what I do. And it was like, okay, why not do this? Because we have all the tools out there to have them where I can get them myself. It's like, okay, then it looks nice. and so I was talking to her about it. She's like, okay, yeah, send them to me. Hello, Christopher. And then she started implementing them. And then she's like, okay, yeah, we need to get these in more people's hands. And so that's why you guys all have one, was because of her. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to get these into some people's hands and to start seeing if some were willing to play with me in regards to it. And truthfully, it's all about, again, the whole idea of writing it down. Words, our vision, all of it. And I wanted to share this because I did this yesterday in my show and tell for my little talk. And that was the little thing that I did on Canva. Then I put it in here. That's how simple it is. You cut and paste. I use a lot of cut and paste over the years. In fact, I showed up when I had those 3 words that, that I heard about that I had to recover from. And now just a chapter in my life, I had gone through 2 years of doing exactly what I'm talking about, where I was on a health kick. And it was all about pictures and health. And I am going to do this. And I have every single day. And I have all of those journals still. And when I showed up to get that diagnosis, guess what, guys? I was probably the healthiest in every other area because of 2 years of work, of concentrated work to do exactly that, to get the healthiest that I had been in years. So words are vibrations, stay high. Yeah, and absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And welcome, from Australia. So glad that you're with us down under. So, what I wanted to do, because we've got about 10 minutes or so, a little over 10 minutes left. What I want to do is start going into what can those that are here right now, I said, come with pen and paper, come ready to take notes. I want something that's actionable, that everybody here that is spending some time with us can actually do. And mine would be simple. Get your phone out. Canva. It's free. You can do that. If you're interested in the big, my big dream life, great. There's the little QR code above me. However, what else would you guys like to share right now for actionable steps for someone to set their 2023 up to be successful and fabulous? Who would like to start? Kim. You're muted, Kim.
Sorry. Okay, I'll just quickly share. So I love the vision board idea, and I've created them myself. Something I also love to do, if someone, for whatever reason, if you prefer something different, is I love to just simply write out. I make a list at the end of every year. What is it that I'm working towards this next year? And I start to write down, what are my dreams, big and small. It doesn't matter. There's no judgment about it. What do I desire? And I put it on a piece of paper. I just kind of love on that paper and really feel into it. And then I set it aside and I take a look at it towards the end of the year and see what I've accomplished. And it's a fun thing to do. So
I love it. It's kind of like the living, loving water that we talked about in the chat so many times. I love that. Who else? Barbara, did you want to go?
Sure. So one thing I would say, everybody buy this book. Okay, just start with that. Okay. And the other thing I would say is write down. I mean, we're talking about writing your goals and everything in the vision board, which I love because I use it myself. But the one thing people, I feel like, forget sometimes is writing down your values, your core values. So write those down because that will help you get into your vision and stuff, because then that's the boundaries. So you won't be going outside of your vision or outside of your goals, because a lot of times we call it, oh, I got to do this, this, and this. And then you're going down the path through the year, through the months. And sometimes you start looking around at people, what they're doing. And then you start saying, oh, but Tamara's doing this, Kel's doing this, Erin and Kim, I should be doing that. And then you kind of get lost in somebody else's vision or get lost in somebody else. You need to go back to what you believe in, your core value, and say, you know what? They're doing great. Praise them, root for them, but root for yourself and say, I'm on my vision board. So I would say write down those values that you believe, those core values that's deep in you, so you can have it to the side when you are creating your vision and your goals and your commitments that you're trying to do.
I love it. I love it. Caroline or Erin? Erin, I'm going to actually keep you for last on purpose. So Caroline, do you have something you'd like to share?
I'm a visionary person, so I have to physically in front of me, and most people are. So that's why I built vision boards so that I can see. Also, really putting what is important to you, not what's important to everybody else, but what's important to you to create vision. And that's why I have to have it facing me so I can see it and work on it every day. And the biggest thing about the whole thing is that it was joyful. It was for me.
Thank you for sharing. And before I get to you, Erin, I'm going to share something here, and that is also tips and tricks. One of the things, I use a lot of paper and cut and paste and all that kind of stuff. But also when you're doing something like this, I put envelopes in so that anything that's important that comes my way, that I don't lose it. A lot of us put that stuff down somewhere and it's like, where did I put it in the safe place? In my safe place that I always lose. Right. Okay. So this way you can always have something close that, it's right there where you're working with what's important. However, I want to give ode to Erin a little bit more because of working with her over the last few years in helping our buddies to set intentions. She actually helped me to kind of come through and help everybody else in these books. And that was to really drill down everything that you guys are talking about. How can you create a vision board if you don't drill down to what your core intention is and what your vision is, but you got to really tap into the heart of it. So in this, it goes into that where and it goes into it like a layer of onions. You get to do it on the bigger view, then you have to go down another view, then you get to go down another one. Okay, put it aside till you get to that final one. Okay, this is where I'm going to work, and in these it is for 90 days. So the idea is do 4 of them, and you're working on specific things within your hearts, that heart of the matter. Erin, when you helped us with those 9 quadrants and you really dived deep, you wouldn't have even let us get to the vision board part of it till we went through weeks of that kind of exercise, right?
Right. And I think like when we go back to what Kim had said as far as, the feeling, the emotion behind it, and the enthusiasm. When you can get the enthusiasm of feeling that emotion that you want to create or you want to be in, and then within the mind's eye, that right there, like when Barbara was talking, I'm like, yep, that's exactly it. Within your mind's eye, you can see and feel those different quadrants, and those are the different places within your life to keep it all balanced, right? It is also just the key. I think that for me, I focus more on the feeling that I want to be in versus this is what I'm creating and being within like the stress or of trying to create it. Versus, okay, I'm just going to allow myself to feel like as if I already feel that way and find that bliss, follow that bliss that you have within your heart. And things really do unfold. I mean, people think I'm crazy and that's okay. I'll be crazy in that way. I love to see the magic unfold in the ways that it does when you really, really feel into that intention.
Thank you. And one of the things you did not brag about yourself, Caroline, in all of this is that, and I don't know if you had it on there, however, when you released and published your children's book, you not only released and published it, you became a best-selling author, right? So your very first book that you published, you
Yes.
became a best-selling author. That is huge. I also want to say that there are those without mentioning names or anything, but there are those feel the vibrational field of your vision. It's fun and the adventure of life. Absolutely. And we do a lot of that with the upside down cone is what I always call it. It's the frequency cone, right? And getting to the higher frequencies because it's scientific, guys. When you really start drilling down on what we're talking about, it is absolutely not mumbo jumbo. It's not kumbaya. There's a little of that, when you think about the music and everything. However, it is absolutely science that we're talking about, and can truly happen. It can absolutely, truly happen. So we shared that we have seen miracles in our community. We have seen those that had the intention to be able to leave a book for their family, that they didn't even know anyone that could help them, that by the time they gained their wings, guess what? They had. There are so many science facts. It just came up here. Yeah, that it is quantum physics. Science, absolutely. So when you're talking about, you're welcome. When you're talking about vision and vision boards and intention and 2023 and being completely fabulous, what is it that you want? That's what I want to ask all of you out there, live or replay. What is it that you want? And then I want to also say that my intention is that we're going to be going back into our chat and we are going to be laying it out there. And I'm going to invite all of you here on this panel. And of course, Erin, I'm hoping you're going to go here. I'm doing it public, but I think we already talked about it. But, it's like going in there and buddies, be ready. We are going to be at it again because when you get together, 2 or more, many amazing things can happen. We see it all the time. And for us to go into 2023 and with full intention to understand what intention is, what vision is, and to be able to make it happen, That's completely fabulous. I want to thank you all for being a part of this today. And you have a vision board that is now all the energy spaces in the same place in your books. Thank you. Thank you. So those of you that are part of the community, be watching for announcements. If you want to join, ask any of us. We can help you figure that out. And I want to say thank you all for being a part of this fabulous panel and giving so much amazing work for those that want to do it, because you all will be the beneficiaries of your own energy, right? All right. With that, I'm going to call it a do. We are going to say thank you for being with us. And next week, be watching for another fabulous panel. Bye, everyone.